Hello and welcome everybody. Thanks for coming by the stream here tonight, checking out 20 Sides Every Story. We are playing The Wild Beyond the Witchlight. Our characters have just entered the third piece of the pie, I guess, of Prismere. Before we begin, if you're watching us here on Twitch or if you're watching the replay on YouTube, thanks for checking us out. So, who we are, 20 Sides Every Story is a gaming community here. Um, Most of our games get streamed on Twitch and then later uploaded to YouTube, although we do have kind of a lot of games going on right now. We've even got games that are happening off stream. So, um, that being said, if you're somebody that's stopping by to watch D&D because you need your fix and you don't have your own group, consider coming and joining us. I'll throw the link to our Discord server here, the Twitch chat. If you're watching on YouTube, you can just check the description of the video, and there'll be an invite link there as well. We do a lot of our recruiting for our games just directly from our Discord server. And another, I guess, big feature or component of our channel is we run something that we call the community campaign, which is a open campaign that anybody in our group, anybody you watching can join that game. Um, it's set in the world of Greyhawk, and we are just concluding the Temple of Elemental Evil, and we have plans here. In July, we'll be celebrating our 5-year anniversary, so we've got some exciting things on the horizon for kind of a part 2 campaign that will also involve more DMs than me, because I can't keep up with all these people anymore, and we need more DMs to offer more games. So very exciting. Just if you want more info, get updates on what's going on with 20 Sides. Again, the main communication device is that Discord server that we use. So jump in there and just let us know you want to get connected with the game, and we can make that happen. If you want to support the channel, obviously there's a number of ways you can do that through Twitch, through cheering and subs and everything like that. Probably the best way to support the stream, however, is just directly through our Patreon page. And I'll put that in the chat as well. So if you've been enjoying what we're doing and want to support the channel, that's a fine way to do that. Let's kick it back over. We're going to talk a little bit about what's going on in this campaign. So the lot of you, Shion Vish, Maple, Arlo, and Lim Green, you all have decided to go and try to make your fortunes in the land of Yan. Things in thither kind of weren't playing out exactly how you needed to get the last of your stuff. Vish's tools are still there in Loomlurch, but it's a little hot there right now, and you need to have some way of maybe luring Granny Nightshade away, so that maybe you could have an opportunity to go return there and have a chance to succeed at getting Vicious things back. And so you'd gotten some advice from a unicorn named Lamorna, who maybe had suggested why not use the relationships between the hags maybe to lure her out. And so she kind of shared with you that the hag that holds dominion over Yan, Endolin Moonshade, is a fan of the theater and performing arts and has a stage at her castle, which is called Motherhorn, and that you might be able to somehow finagle something there to get some kind of a big production going, something that might entice Endolin to maybe send some invitations out to her sisters, so you might be able to draw her away. So I guess the other thing of note, I think we ended the session pretty close after this revelation from Lim. Lim shared with the others that Endolin is, well, she's led to believe, based on some visions or some memories that are coming back to her, that Endolin may be her adopted mother. And so that's sort of interesting development, a complication here. My read on what Lim was thinking at that time is it might be best to lay low. Um, that she would prefer not to be spotted by Endelin, if at all possible. So I think that was the last we heard about that. You all piled into your hot air balloon, the swamp gas balloon that you had, I guess, leased from Bavlorna. I think the deal was that she was going to let you borrow that if you would get her porcelain jar thing that was stolen by those darklings that also stole your stuff. Um, and so you piled into that. You, with the assistance of your guide, the little oil can squirt, you made your way over the border from thither into Yan. And upon arriving in Yan, you were greeted by storm clouds, uh, kind of collecting high on up above these rocky crags, this mountainside kind of facade that was before you. Um, and at the very top of this, like the highest peak, there was this big castle that you could see. And storm clouds collecting around, maybe even like some funnel clouds kind of forming in different places, like just the entire atmosphere just dominated by these storms. Maybe not quite raining as you were coming in, but definitely lightning. And even a bolt of lightning shot down, hit the top of your the big bladder of the balloon, and kind of burst into
No.
flames. And you started to kind of go out of control and slam down, kind of on a low um, valley between a couple of crags, and where we're going to begin, Shion, you actually flew from upon impact as the thing crashed down. You were flown kind of from the basket and knocked your head pretty hard, and you went cold, like knocked out. And in this moment where you're unconscious, you start to have kind of like fragments of memories kind of collecting, and you're having a little bit of like a Wizard of Oz sort of experience where you're in kind of a different time in your life and you're back. The music, you can kind of vaguely, it's kind of foggy, but you hear kind of the music of the Witchlight Carnival. You're starting to see kind of colors kind of come in, like brightness, like very much a contrast to this dreariness that you just entered. And you're walking. You're not alone. You're walking right in front of the tent that held the Hall of Illusions. This big, large tent. It had sort of patterns in it, almost like woven in it, but like kind of animated, swirling spirals that just sort of befuddle the mind as you move past it. These kind of images are trying to entice people into paying a few tickets to maybe walk through the mirrored halls within. And standing next to you is your mentor, a sagely elder with a very long, the traditional kind of stereotypical wispy wizard beard. And he's wearing a brilliant ivory colored gown over which he's fitted with scarlet velvet hood. When I say hood, I mean like a graduation hood, like the thing that kind of goes over your shoulders and over the
Oh, it's
gown.
a towel. Yep.
Yeah. In his left hand, he holds a staff that is crafted from looks like very uh, finely uh, crafted cherry wood. It's kind of fitted and kind of stylized a bit. And at the top of its headpiece, it has an opulent red ruby that kind of gleams in the light. And he's leaning on it for support. He kind of just maybe holding your arm too. He's an old man, and so he walks very kind of very slowly, and he's talking to you softly and you have consciousness. I would say like it's kind of like Lim's vision, where she's aware of things that are happening in the present, but also like this is a memory. Like this happened to you 7 years ago. And so he's just kind of like walking with you, and he says, I got an image of him. Put that up.
Cool image.
Switch my scene here so folks can see him. So he's walking with you, and he says, Shion, I'm taking your desires into great consideration, but the fact of the matter is, you are not ready. You are not ready for the task. This object that I am going to seek, going to retrieve, it is very dangerous, and it must be handled with care. I've observed you. Very powerful, you're very talented, but you don't yet have the control needed for this mission. But do not worry. I have another matter that you are going to be assisted with, no less important.
But Papa, I'm ready. I can go. I can do whatever needs to be done.
Well, and the matter that is about to be laid before you is the one that you will take on. It is one of protection. Defender. Need you to take care of... Well, you'll see. You'll see in just a moment. And you see his eyes kind of like... His gaze is drawn to further down kind of the little dirt road that the carnival folk have created temporarily here for the carnival, and there's two figures that are approaching. One appears to be a human. He himself has a beard, but it's like a white trim beard. It just has sort of a manicured kind of look, sort of balding a bit. He's wearing a wool doublet, and on his forearms he has bracers. That look like they must have some kind of magical effect, because there's almost like this kind of blurry force field that you kind of see. It seems like they're kind of like the focus. And with him is a young fairy girl who is wearing the butterfly wings that were handed out at the carnival ticket booth. And you instantly recognize her from the auburn hair and sort of the very excited look that this is child Maple. And her face is all painted up with like little dragonflies and other things from... clearly had visited some of the other tents prior to this moment. And the older of the two, the human, he walks up to your mentor, your papa, and he says, "Hey, Ringlrung, my friend, good to see you. And this must be your pupil, Fion, is it? Heard a lot about you. Ringlrung here says you're very talented."
And your name?
My name is Kellic.
Nice to meet you.
This here's my baby sister, Maple. She's gonna be needing some company. Well, we've got some business to attend to. Will you be able to hang out with her for a little bit? We shouldn't be gone too long.
I can certainly do so. I kind of look at the child Maple and try to kind of get regular Maple in my view and try to kind of do some comparisons or see if I can even see that they're two separate people at this point.
Go ahead and make maybe an insight check.
Oh, skills, insight.
Oh, and while you're doing that, I see Lyra Lou is here. Thanks for stopping by. Lyra just redeemed buy everyone a reroll. So we got 5 rerolls in the tank as you start off here.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
Shion, with your 18 on the die there, you're pretty sure this is Maple. Although you're probably coming to realize, since this is a memory that you've had, that Maple doesn't have any, um, isn't aware of who you are, and so it's probably, being in a memory like this, like that makes sense.
Sure.
It's not a shared vision.
Got it. Oh, baby Maple. Just kind of smile.
And he kind of looks at you for a second. He's like, "You, have you met before? That
I'm,
seems
I'm,
odd."
I'm Maple. Sort of. Not like that, though. Not that I remember.
And he's kind of got a befuddled look, and Ringelrun just says, "There's no time for this, Kellic. We must. Carnival's not gonna be here all day, and so we need to get on with it. I got the password from the guys. It's a child's rhyme. It's quite cute. Um,
Will you be back for me? Am I
well,
just staying here?
stay right here. Don't go anywhere. Must stay within the carnival if at all possible.
I won't move, Papa. We'll
Yeah.
stay right here.
Play some games. And he kind of ruffles through his robes, and he got some coins. He kind of drops a few gold coins in your hand. Have a day. It'll be fun.
Thank you.
Get some
I
cotton
give him a huge
candy.
hug.
See a performance. Oh, he gives you a hug, and he says, "Okay, well, we'll be off, and we'll be back before you know it." And
Okay.
just kind of hear Kella kind of like they kind of turn their backs to you a bit, and you hear a little bit of conversation, and Kella says, "Have you gotten any more information about the Hearthstone?" And Ringelrun says, "Of course, of course. The rest of the team, the Knights of Valor, have pinpointed and locked down its location, just on the fringes of Karameikos. It'll be no no matter. We know where it is. We'll be in and out. We'll be back uh, before anyone even notices we're gone." And Kellic seems to kind of nod. And he puts his hand on his back, and the two of them, you see them hand their tickets to the guy at the front of the Hall of Illusions, and they enter into the tent. And,
Good luck.
from there, you wish them luck, and they kind of flash a smile backwards as they enter into the tent. And you wait a bit. Maple is asking you all about what game would you like to play? What would you like to see? What's your favorite of all of the things? And so you go about the carnival and you do some of those things. But at some point during that day, there is sort of an alarming look that comes over Maple's face, and she starts to fret. "Oh no, it's gone!"
What's gone? What'd you lose? What
And
happened?
she's reaching like at her neck, and you did notice maybe before Kellic left, he had put like a little medallion, a little necklace and amulet around Maple's neck. And as Maple's fretting, you look and it isn't there.
Where could it be? We need to go look.
It's probably
Let's
at
go
that
look.
moment, as you're inquiring about all of that, that you realize that your signet ring is gone. The one that kind of marks you as a member of Ringelrun's school, one of his pupils, that is gone as well. And
Oh,
kind of
what?
as this scene is starting to fade from view, what you see are a number of these toad-like creatures, kind of walking, humanoid-like kind of balding creatures in rags, and you would remember them. They are identical in look to Bavlorna, Blightstraw, and there's like three of them, and you can see they're kind of reaching and grabbing at other people's purses and pockets as well. And your last memories of this playing out is Maple being inconsolable and like realizing what happened, and she's chasing after these things, and of course this is your charge. You went off and chased Maple to try to secure her, and in doing so ran outside of the Witchlight Carnival. And by the time you know this all played out, the Lornlings managed to dodge you, and by the time you turned back, the carnival was gone. And that's when you wake up, and you're back in the scene here with the other player characters, and you're all maybe huddled around, kind of like Dorothy's uncles and aunts and everything, kind of like trying to shake Shion awake.
I don't think she's moving.
Hold
No,
on.
no, she's coming around.
Let me get the water skin. Oh, she's okay.
Papa.
Oh no, she's delirious.
Fish.
Let's try again.
Papa.
Don't go towards the light.
I also saw baby Maple. Maple was cute. She had
What?
little things on her face.
What?
We met at the carnival a long time ago. I was there with my mentor, and you were there with your brother.
I'm gonna be looking at Maple now.
Things disappeared, and then we ran out of the carnival. We were chasing lorninglings. Well, I knew you when you were tiny, but I didn't know that, or at least I didn't remember.
Grandpa?
Yeah,
Do you remember
So it
that?
was kind of small.
I wasn't the one that was knocked out. Wait, is this starting to sound like a memory, Alex?
Let's maybe just make a let's say a wisdom check.
Sure. Oh,
Sort of, but it's kind of in the way that like it sounds like a thing that happened, but like you don't remember it quite the way like Shion is talking about it. Like you remember being at the carnival, you remember losing your amulet, but for some reason you don't like exactly remember. Like you remember being with someone that wasn't your brother, but
Mhm.
like it's just sort of foggy. Like pieces of it feel right.
but Shion's like been my friend since Waterdeep. I remember meeting her in Waterdeep. I don't remember. Yeah, it's like Are you okay?
I
Use the wings to like
might
speed
be.
some air.
I saw my mentor. I got to see his face again, and that was nice.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
And I saw
you're
baby
not
Maple.
practice anymore. That's nice.
Yeah,
Baby Maple?
I saw baby Maple.
Oh.
Honestly, baby Maple's probably pretty cute. Let's be real.
Were you killing your baby?
Makes sense.
Maple?
Baby
I've never
Maple.
seen Baby Maple.
Whoa.
So
held mirrors up to Baby Maple the whole time, so Baby Maple would know just how cute Baby Maple was.
So, as you're kind of talking about, Shion now has had a little bit of a vision, as well. You're kind of taking a look around, and the swamp gas balloon is definitely like unusable in its current state. Like the balloon itself, not only is it like been destroyed, but like it was hit and kind of burned, and so it's even if you had, I think maybe the little rabbit toy Arlo climbs out of your bag and is like, there's something to be sewn here and it's broken, and so I think it climbs out and is like going over there to kind of like assess the damage, and you see he's like just very sad and solemn, kind of shaking his head. I think it's broken, Arlo. I don't think this is beyond me. I don't have all my tools.
It's okay. It's not your responsibility to fix this broken balloon. Perhaps, maybe while we're here we'll find tools and then we can all help fix it.
Oh, what kind of toy do you need there?
I need
I'm
like
not a real tool type person, so I don't know. You'd have to tell him what you need.
I
There.
need more like heavier thread for sure, and like more maybe like more of this material that this is made of. This like kind of rubbery material. This needs a patch.
Any other things that you need, or are those at least the basics?
Probably a different kind of needle too.
Like a kind of stronger, thicker one.
Yeah.
So, Alex, my character, she could make types of tools if
Okay.
given enough time, but I don't know. The materials probably wouldn't.
Yeah, the material wouldn't come with it, but yeah, certainly like the tools that Pincushion's
Mhm.
kind of complaining about not having,
Yeah.
or lamenting not
All right.
having.
Okay.
And thank you to the chat for the DM reroll.
That's
Um,
nice.
So, anyways, Pincushion's assessing the damage and trying to like ascertain like what would be needed here to get this thing back up in the air. Meanwhile, I think there's a few things that you notice as like the lightning is flashing. Every time it does, it creates a silhouette of the things that are at a higher altitude than you. And the main thing that you see is that lightning splits the sky and it illuminates this distant pinnacle, the highest mountaintop, and you can see this foreboding castle that's carved right into the mountain. And so you can see it, there's not a clear path up there. There's definitely like roads that seem to kind of like move upward and like kind of carved into the mountain and like wind and switch back up there, but there isn't necessarily a clear way. But there's probably one other thing that you take notice of. And it probably coincides with the feeling that Shion, Maple, and Lim, all three of you, have Shion and Maple, you felt it before when you were in Hither. But that feeling that your things are there, they're up there. And Lim, you're feeling that too. You're in the right place. Your doll is somewhere up there in the castle.
Oh.
But it maybe becomes very apparent to Shion and Maple where their things are, because along with the silhouette of the castle, you see the silhouette of what looks like a storm cloud tethered to sort of a, not quite a basket, larger than a basket, but that little store shop that the Darklings operated. It's up there. It's moored to a little, I guess, bridge, I guess, is maybe like a pier that just like juts off of the castle into the air, but the balloon is tethered to it and kind of stationed there.
You guys see that? Can you feel it? I'm sure that my ring
Absolutely.
is here.
I've never felt it before, but I feel it, and it feels good.
Right? I think
My
so.
You too? Okay,
the thing
cool.
I'm looking for, and you said for Lim, her item that she feels is there is at the castle, not the balloon, right? Or did I misunderstand that?
You probably don't know. It's
Okay.
just that Shion and Maple have a pretty good idea where their things ended up, whereas you,
Gotcha.
I mean,
I just know it exists.
yeah, you feel it's like generally up there in the castle.
Gotcha. But yeah, she's like pointing and getting all excited.
We need to go to the balloon. Do you see the balloon?
The
If we do
balloon.
things
Yep.
right, maybe if we do things right, maybe we don't need to fix this balloon. Maybe we can ride the storm balloon.
Nice.
It does seem meant for the weather.
Haste, suggestion, everything.
When you say
It's
do things
ice.
right, when you say do
Charm.
things right,
Chain murder. Oh,
oh, murder. No.
I think you're redefining right, but I'm on board.
So I will say this,
Here we go.
in no uncertain terms, right? Like your group is maybe responsible for 2 humanoids' deaths while you were here in Prismere, and so like you can feel that there is like kind of like the darkest storm cloud is always like right over your group and like kind of following you around, right? And like it's forming like right now as you're like looking up at the castle and just downpour. Like it's like not raining like 15 feet away from you, but like this
Wow.
cloud is just letting you have it.
Fine, we won't take the balloon.
I think the weather's
That was
talking to us.
Thinking, huh?
The weather is
You
not
said it
pleased
out
with
loud,
us.
Arlo.
And you kind of had that a little bit at the end of your time in Thither, where like where you were walking, like the vegetation would kind of curl up. The mushrooms got kind of weird with you when you went and talked to them, and they weren't happy and singing anymore. So, anyway, that's happening.
We make the world's happier again.
Let me physicality your conscience, and then we'll move on.
Have been not.
We've got some bad PR, guys.
we do.
Lyra Lou, of all the Charlie Browns in the world, this party is the Charlie
Charlie
Browniest.
Brown.
Yes. And ooh, hey, Nuthouse 57 subscribed for 46 months in a row. Thank you so
Wow.
much.
Awesome.
While you're taking all of this in and maybe trying to figure out what does this mean, this rain, you see just off a bit, I don't know, maybe like 300 feet away, like part where you crashed down, there's sort of a little bit of like a kind of lake, just sort of pretty shallow lake, but just sort of this, I don't know, kind of field like kind of cavity in the rock that has collected some of this rainwater. And on the other side, you can see there's like a. It kind of reminds you, I guess, of maybe something that maybe you would have seen at the Witchlight Carnival, sort of a wagon that is built up and has sort of curtains drawn over it, almost like there's kind of like some shadow. You'd expect maybe sock puppets or shadow puppets or something to be on the other side when the curtains are drawn. There doesn't seem to be any like horse or anything that's tethered to it, but there is a man that's like sitting in the carriage seat, and kind of you can't really get a sense of him. He's all robed and big hood over his head, but he's just sitting there. He's got some reins in his hands, but they're not tethered to anything. And there are, I guess you notice there are two figures that are standing kind of before the curtains of the wagon, seemingly like they're anticipating a show. One of them is a slender female elf wearing a crescent moon mask, and the other is a 3-foot tall dandelion with a small rapier strapped to its stem. There's
Of course it is.
Of course it is.
Yeah. I knew that was coming.
And,
Totally expected it.
The dandelion
Yeah.
has a little companion in the form of a little bee that's hovering around
Aw.
Oh,
his head.
wow.
And he's got his rapier. He takes it out while he's waiting, jams it into the ground, and kind of strikes up sort of a defensive or heroic pose. And the honeybee is just buzzing around, flying circles around his head. Once in a while, it kind of goes over to the elf and maybe is kind of seems like maybe communicating to her. It's not moving in a way that is maybe like a natural bee. Like it has very deliberate kind of movements. So that's what you see.
Yeah.
Before I stand up, I go ahead and call forth my quill, and I write down everything I can remember from that dream. I write down Ringled Run, I write down Kalin, I write down as much as I can remember.
You
And
do.
Baby Maple.
And as you look down at your writing, it is all entirely unreadable.
Oh yeah.
Hey guys, can we go check that out? That is the dandelion with a sword. Can we just move over there just real quick?
I don't see why not. Maybe if we help them out, these storm clouds will go away.
I'm trying to casually, slowly, trying to hide some of the excitement as I move in that direction.
Okay.
It is cool.
You start
I'll
to
drop
move.
the hood on my cloak so they can see my ears.
So, Maple and Shion, how about the rest of you? Are you staying back to watch what happens, or do you want to go with?
I'll move up.
I'll move up as well.
I think since Lim kind of had her vision, she's kind of a little anxious, so she might actually hang back a little bit and just kind of watch from a distance.
Okay. So Shion, Maple, Vish, and Arlo, you move up, and as you do so, the curtains of the little cart open up, and there are some marionettes that are kind of on strings that kind of are moving about, and there's a little performance that's happening, and like somewhere there are voices that are coming from this thing. It's not really apparent to you. Like, it seems like it's probably like a marionette show is not what you were expecting maybe to see in there, just because like there's no room for like such a person to be like up on top of the thing, or like there's no compartment for such a person. It would have made more sense for someone to be down below kind of doing it. But nonetheless, there's these strings of these figures, and most of them are kind of dressed up. They look like little Harengon. You can see little antenna, little ears sticking up, and they've all got like swords drawn, and they're kind of encircling these other 5 characters, and each of the 5 characters looks like each of you, your party. And you can see one of the like Harengon is just like, well, we're gonna need to take all of your things because they belong to the hag. And another one says, yeah, we're a part of the gang, you see, and we mean business. And then there's like this sort of like horned puppet with like really long hair that just says, shut the fuck up. And this like one of the puppets just explodes. and all the little rabbits are like, oh no, run away.
I think at that point, Lim is gonna hide, like just straight up hide.
And you just see the elf that's like sitting there watching is just, oh yeah, that is a tragic story. What do you think? And she turns to the dandelion, who says, well, I must say, of all the performances I've seen, this is the shortest. They got right to the point. Lots of action. I quite like it.
Is there a mouth? Wait.
No mouth. It's just like maybe like its little like little pollen kind of puffs up while it talks, and it's like little leaves just kind of ruffle.
Awesome.
Yeah, that didn't really look
Seems like a
response.
bit of a you know, tilted
So it's
interpretation
awesome.
of that story, right? I
Mhm.
mean, it's
But-
maybe a little.
I'm gonna.
It was good.
Is Squirt around?
Squirt is like, a Vish?
Yes.
I know I'm just an oil can and all, but
No.
that sure looks like that puppet sure looks like you and Liam. Did that really happen?
Kinda.
It's
Not so many curse words.
Oh. Well,
Curse
They were
words
attacking
would've
it.
been
They want to hurt
accurate.
us. You
I
know
think they
how.
captured the explosion though.
Yep, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
wow.
Damn.
But
Okay.
there would have been more brain tissue in it.
There's no like little confetti.
Yeah, profanity and all. At least it's still like the PG-13. You get one F-bomb.
There should have been some kind of warning. You know, this visually might be upsetting.
I think I'm gonna go. I'm gonna close. I'm gonna put him kind of Megazord thing happen, and the helmet's gonna go over my face, kind of hiding my face. Zzz, squirts on top, and I'm gonna kind of move over, and my kind of fancier, well, not fancier, but there's now bark on my armor as well, as it kind of drags along back. It's not really put together very well, but I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna, if I can, I'm gonna move up to the other two figures watching and go, what do you think about that? That was interesting. Huh?
The dandelion says it was very interesting. I love a good story.
Who
What
do
a-
you think the heroes were?
Well, I mean,
Harry
those
got
brigands were trying to rob them blind. Maybe there's a prequel or something that'll give more context to what was going on. Maybe the brigands had good reason to rob from them. But from the limited information that I have, it seems like that missile spell was very well justified.
Yeah.
And then the
Uh-huh.
bee is flying about, and he says, "Oh, I'm sorry, honey. Well, we don't have to agree on everything. You know, we watched the same thing. You have your things that you like. I have mine. We are of two identities. We can like different things. That's fine. That's fine. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to upset you, my love. What did you think of that performance? Did you see it all?"
I did. I did. Yeah, it would good. I think
I think
it
when
would.
the prequel comes out, there definitely will be more context about why those poor heroes had to do what they did to the poor brigands.
Absolutely. The elf that is wearing the crescent moon mask calls out. She says, "Arlo?"
Oh.
Oh, hello. Do I
Arlo.
recognize this? Do I recognize this person from memory? I think I do. Right?
Yes. Yep. You
Is it the
know her to
mask?
be Gleam.
Gleam. Long time no see. I was just at the carnival. I thought maybe you're there.
No. It's kind of a long story, and I don't know. It's sort of awkward, I guess. It's about, Glister, and I'm really sorry about everything, right? And I know Glister is too,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I guess allow me to share a little bit of, Glister felt real bad about what happened, of course.
Hmm.
What happened was a direct result of a deal that she made
Ooh.
with,
One of these witches? Hags?
yeah,
What's the PC term for them? Is it hags?
eggs, witches.
Okay. Both are okay.
It seems like they're not. I mean, this one we just call. She goes by many names: Endolin, Bitter End, the Creeping Lynn. You know how Glister was. She always wanted to put on a show. She always wanted to get a reaction, and that is what she asked for. She asked for the ability to put on an unforgettable performance. And so when it's the same routine that she always did, the fire breathing act. That dragon that she conjured, it was magnificent, too much for the tent. So after everything that happened with you, she couldn't live with herself. So she came here to ask for a way to undo it. I came with her,
See.
with both of us, and we went up there to that castle up there. And She took Glitter. She has imprisoned her. And I don't really understand, but she didn't take me. She just cast me out and said, "Be gone." But I can't just leave her there. You know, she was trying to do right by you. In
Yeah.
Jetto.
No. Yeah, I get it. Well, you know, I think we have to head that way ourselves. You all could maybe try to help. We have some stuff we're trying to do. I don't know. In that vicinity. Because we've all searching for some things we lost at the carnival years ago, and well, I guess we're trying to sort of lure. What's the name of the lady from there?
Granny Nightshade.
Any Nightshade out to a show here. Maybe if we get things all distracted enough, we could free Mister too. I don't know. I can't make any promises, but we could try to help. Maybe you could help us. It's like you got a pretty interesting show. By the way, where'd you hear that story?
Oh,
Was this your show?
No, it's not my show.
You're just watching. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and
Was
as you kind of reference the wagon, the hooded figure that's in the bucket seat just kind of reaches into his robes, and he pulls out like a piece of parchment, and he hands it to you, Arlo.
see. Well, look at it. Is it a drawing? Is it words?
It is
Empty.
words. Actually, upon it, there are. It looks like kind of like an oversized ticket, and written kind of like calligraphy style, like drawings of puppets and marionettes, and kind of like the drama masks, kind of adorn sort of the border of this piece of parchment, and it just says, "Good for one private audience with Endelin Moongrave. No strings attached."
Is that a pun because of the marionette thing?
He just shakes his head yes, and as he continues
I
to
like
hand
it.
these out to like each of you.
I like this guy.
Lim might very slowly and nervously come out when she sees that tickets are being handed out to like get one.
Hello?
The hooded figure starts to kind of like kick up the reins that are attached to nothing, and the wagon just sort of like veers off and starts to head up the mountain way.
Huh?
Yeah.
What? Well, who? Who? Hi. I guess I would picture like Fish just
everybody
standing right
is-
next to that whole like deep conversation, and Fish is just sitting there not moving because it's really awkward for her to just be standing there.
By the way,
Who are
this is
who are the
Fish,
other
this is-
people?
This is Gleam.
Who?
this is-
Hi, I'm Fish. Nice to
Hi.
meet
This
you.
is my friend Fish, and that's Maple up over there flying around, and that's Shion in the back here, and coming out from behind a tree or a rock or whatever, that is my friend Lim Green.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Oh.
Everyone, this is Gleam. I used to work with her long ago at the carnival.
Oh.
Her
Who's-
sister Glisters, who we're talking about, who is being held captive in big, scary, silhouetted castle up over there, where the storm cloud balloon is.
And what they do that made you so sad?
We'll talk about that another time, Vish.
Oh. Was it yours? Oh.
Yeah.
It was your
yeah.
kid, huh?
Okay, yeah.
Oh. What did you do to him? I'm gonna go
It's
right up to Glenn.
connected, yeah.
What did you do? What did you do to this? What did you do to poor
Oh, here we
Arlo?
go.
was an accident.
What did you do, though?
My twin sister. It was a accident in the midst of our performance. We're acrobats.
Mm-hmm.
It was a fire, Vish. As
was a
you
fire.
know, it was
Oh,
an
fire.
accident. So
But why was your kid part of the show?
he lived at the carnival and worked there with me. You know, we worked there.
You can see
He
Gleam is
was
kind of
in the
like
big top
reaching
tent.
underneath the mask a little bit, like she's tearing up.
I think ashes. Yeah, got it. Ooh. Mm.
Oh.
But
Like at that
Ooh.
point.
this,
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh
this is
no.
all
That's you. You're the one.
it's all in the past.
Yeah, that's not a good
And
thing.
we are ready to move forward, and it would be really maybe we could do, we're kind of drawing. I know you've noticed these storm clouds, so maybe it would do us some good to
Yeah.
give back and help.
You
Also,
feel-
does anybody?
Sorry, go ahead, and then I'll.
No, go ahead. I was going to be an irrelevant comment.
Okay. You feel some rustling around in like kind of your bag, and Pincushion like sticks his head out, and he says, Arlo, what are y'all talking about?"
Nothing, Pincushion. We're just hatching a plan.
Conversation is really weird.
It's
You
very
want-
weird.
I'll fill you in.
Sorry.
Come on over here.
Oh, you have that oil cannon. I don't like it.
Pincushion, you don't like
You draw the line.
squirt?
What's wrong with Squirt?
Oh,
He talks so much.
wow.
He gets oil all over my clothes.
I mean, that's fair.
It was
Oh.
very flammable. It's not good.
It's okay, Squirt.
Hey,
Oh, with
I get it all the
flammable
time. I don't care.
Tickle, tickle.
I know who I am.
Right? That's
Comfortable in
right.
my own tin.
Tim.
Oh goodness, I can't
That
take
was
it.
so
Not
good.
like it. Well, you must know how to get back to the castle if you were there before. Would you be able to help guide our way there?
I can absolutely take you up there, but it probably wouldn't be a great idea for me to go in with you.
Sure,
But, I could take you. I can guide you. Pretty easy to get lost up here.
Can we stop the storm cloud people on the way?
I think
Well,
they're up there basically, aren't they?
they're in the you'd have to be in the castle to get to them because it's
Okay.
basically off of one of the towers of the castle that they're docked.
Got it.
Is there, aside from the castle, is there anything notable, here in Yan that how long has Glister been captured there? You must have been roaming these lands for a while.
Well, it's hard to say. I mean, it feels like it's only been a month or so.
Oh no. Oh no.
Mabel's not laughing, but
Oh no.
oh yeah, that's just a month. That's no big deal.
I think you all have probably been here, about maybe like a week or two?
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh God, I wonder how long we've been gone for.
Don't go there.
Uh-huh. Oh.
Ever.
Okay, well, have you come across anything notable in this land aside from the castle then? Like, is there any
Well-
place we could, seek refuge before we go there, or stuck out in the wilds here? Does it always rain, right? Like, so acutely?
I haven't had that as much. It does rain, but And she looks up at the cloud that's like comically like right over your party, and she says, "I've never seen that before." Well, there's a couple of things that I could maybe share with you. I've heard that, talking with Amador here, there are all sorts of fey creatures that make their homes here in the mountains. He was telling me that Corrids are a type of creature, kind of like, he said they kind of look like dwarves with big beards. And she points up at, got to go back to the player's map here. He points up at this like Stonehenge that you can see maybe a few miles away, propped up. It also, when the lightning hits, creates sort of this silhouette of this Stonehenge. And she says, he was just telling me that used to be a gathering place for them, but that he hasn't seen them in quite some time. Don't know that that's helpful or useful, but apparently they've kind of made themselves scarce ever since the bitter end sort of took this quadrant of Prismere at her domain. I guess the other thing I've noticed that up there in the mountains a ways is there's a sort of a valley where there are these beacons, like these spires, 8 or so, and these big brass braziers. And there's an elf up there who is like going up and down with a torch, like trying to light them. I think he said his name was Prince something. Ella, and then Squirt chimes in. He's like, "Oh boy, do you mean Prince Elagarthus? Oh, he's still alive. Oh, that's the prince I was traveling with all around. Remember, I told you I've been all around and saw all sorts of things."
Oh.
Oh, that one. Oh, see, we thought that he got eaten by a dragon.
Oh no, I mean, that's the guy that would carry me, the driver.
Oh.
And he's kind of a prince in my mind because he's so good with the wagon and he fills me up with the oil. And well, yeah, the real prince, the guy that everyone actually calls Prince, he's pretty cool, I guess. But I'm just glad he's alive. Oh,
That's a good guy?
yeah, he's a good guy, I guess. I don't know. He doesn't really make a lot of laws that govern, oil cans, and so I don't have a strong opinion.
Are there laws that govern oil cans?
Oh, it probably is. Probably is.
Huh.
Sure, there will be someday.
One day.
I would, could I look back to Amador and be like, Amador,
Yes.
have you figured out who we are?
Are you the heroes from this tragic story that we just witnessed?
And I'm gonna point to Lim.
And he holds out his rapier. Stand back! Don't you dare!
What? What do I?
Lim is scared.
Introduce you? Just Lim, I said.
Yeah, we're not aggressive like that. That was a very
Okay.
opinionated,
Yeah.
one-sided version of that story. I mean,
There's always editorializing the
Actual-
truth.
When he
actual,
It's
I mean, it did happen, but I mean,
I was really tired. I wasn't thinking clearly. I'm sorry. And she drops to she covers her head.
Yes. I get the same way when I haven't been pollinated. And then he kind of looks over at the bee.
Oh no.
that's just not
It's
right.
that kind of relationship.
Oh, that.
I'm sorry. I just
do you
my
talk
love is
from?
bountiful. I am a romantic. Oh, my darling, you're just so beautiful. Do not cry, my love. Let me catch your tears. No, they won't harm us. Come here, you. And he grabs the bee, and she's like, you know, I don't know. It looks awkward and weird. But they're doing their best embrace, I guess, the bee and the dandelion.
Okay, I'm over the bee and dandelion thing. What else do we do?
Well, I think we still have to come up with a plan. Get Granny Nightshade here. But, noticing how negatively Jan has reacted to us, I feel like maybe we should try to, cleanse
Has it?
the karma palette a bit here before we go there, so that we're not, if we go up to the castle with just a rain cloud above our heads, it's gonna be like, I don't care if you have a ticket, we're not letting you in.
Do you think maybe we help the
Rain.
people? We help people around here?
Or
Oh.
they might capture us and just tie us to their gardens to water them.
I think that's the perfect time to ask this question. Does anybody speak giant?
Let me see.
I think I might.
Dwarvish, Elvish,
that under-
Primordial.
That's oddly specific. Let's say not the primordial part, but the giant part. Abyssal, Common, Infernal, and Sylvan. I'm surprised Sylvan hasn't come up nearly as much as I thought it would.
Well,
Draconic's not helping.
in this case, you just hear. And you look over and you can see this lumbering Cyclops who's wearing this kind of brimmed hat that has a net drawn over it. He's dressed up in a variety of kind of furs and hides, and in his left hand he's carrying this big, looks like a big staff, but at the end of it there's a bit of rope that's tied to it almost looks like a barrel or some kind of receptacle. It's that big, big lumbering giant guy, and it's just got rope bound around it, and there are bees just swarming all around this barrel, this hive of bees that's at the end of this stick. Let's see, we got a picture of him. He comes lumbering into view.
Under yours, Amador?
Oh, wow.
This brute, he's the one that kept my beloved prisoner and exploited her labor and used her. No, I rescued her. I went in valiantly and I cut my way through and I saved the princess.
Oh,
Does the bee talk at all?
That's a good question. Let me look.
Because, I mean,
that would help.
it would be good to have some corroboration here. I kind of want this
And
to...
Celestial, does that help? Celestial, Draconic, Sylvan.
Sylvan.
It. Are you? You're just trying all of those things? You're just speaking random things in the languages you know?
Yeah, and trying to listen too.
all the languages.
It's. I mean, speaking in it sounds like, you're guessing it's its native language. It's kind of guttural, and he's just looming right over, he approaches. He's 30 feet away, and he's kind of waving that stick all around, and he's pointing his finger at Amador. And it looks like he's pointing at the bee, and then he's pointing at the hive that's at the end of the stick.
Guys.
I don't.
This is weird, huh?
This is weird.
You see
he just
Amador draws his rapier. Ah.
Are you
All
serious right now?
right.
Is
We
this
do
a love
peaceful-
triangle or?
Well, hold on there.
Amador, what do we try peace talks, maybe?
Peace talks. pursuit of true love boils up within me. I am overcome
Amador,
with emotion.
Is
You
is
could,
your
you could,
true love the is your true love the queen of that hive, Amador?
this is the queen of my heart, the most beautiful
Oh,
creature I've ever
jeez.
placed my eyes upon. Yes, Paulinella, I shall defend you to the bitter. Oh, I can't say bitter end. That's already a proper noun in this realm. I will, till my wilting leaves fall to the ground, I will defend you. Arlo, you can go ahead and try to make a persuasion check to see if you can get Amador to calm down.
Please be nice. Oh, here
Be
we go.
nice.
Oh goodness.
Oh,
right. Amador says,
Uh.
diplomacy. You think you can talk to this big, ugly brute?
Nope.
I hope to.
Yeah.
I do not consider any creation to be ugly.
What do you say, my sweet? Shall we try the road of diplomacy? And he's oh, okay. I am being advised that I should allow you to have at it.
I'm gonna walk very tentatively forward towards Cyclops. You know, I want to help see if we can figure out what this guy's saying here. Oh, okay, I'll do it. All right, just me then.
Whoa.
I got you. Flank to your left a little bit.
All
Don't
right.
get-
I'll try to help out as well.
Yeah, I'll be
You
behind you.
didn't even give me a chance to answer there, Arlo. Yes, I'm coming too. Just give me a second. Tie my shoe.
Oh, sorry, I didn't notice that your boots were untied. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
There was a lot of
let
bark.
me look
in the
around a
way.
little bit more. Thanks.
I
Okay,
should
I'm
be
coming.
more
I'm ready
observant.
now.
Okay. Good one-eyed large person. All met. Did you
And
say
you're
well-
you're
say
speaking
well met?
in
Most-
common?
It's common for now.
Okay. He looks down at you, and he's like waving his bee nest like kind of in your face, like.
I would like do this like passive gesture, right? Yeah. Me? Arlo. You? Arlo. You? Rar.
And then he like grabs he's got like all these mugs at his like hip, and he grabs one, and he like kind of hoists it up. Glug glug glug.
Do you have any beer alcohols with us? No. It's never alcohol when you need
I'm gonna try to figure out charades. Is that possible that I'm looking, seeing if I...
I have a bag of sand.
Make an insight check.
Okay. Reroll?
Reroll.
We have 5. Yeah. I'll do another one. I'll try it again. Much better. 7.
He takes the pole and he's like waving like the bees in your face.
Hey. Bees.
Vish. As he does that, let me just look here. Give me a I don't know, let's call it a dexterity saving.
Okay. $14.
Okay.
Might work.
So some of these, as he's like waving that thing in your face, some of the bees kind of like are flying out, and like it feels like maybe kind of aggressive, and you're kind of dodging and kind of waving your hands a bit. None of them actually like land and sting you or anything, but being in proximity to that nest seems to irritate them.
Hey, easy with that. What are you doing?
I don't have any beer. I don't have any beer.
I have
Oh.
pocket sand. That's all I have.
No. Drinky. Oh, drinky.
No drinky.
At this point, you just see he keeps pointing at the bee, and he points at his beehive, and like it's pretty clear to you what he ultimately wants.
What if I pull out like gold,
I don't think that's gonna.
shiny like bee?
And
I'm going to offer him the sand.
he looks at the sand, and he's just like, "Whew," and he just like blows it and gets in your eyes a bit. And then you're handing up a bunch of gold to him, and he's like,
I'm just holding gold. Buy new bee.
"Oh," pointing at the nest again, and he holds the mug again. He's like,
Can't make beer without that bee.
Oh, he wants mead.
"Yeah."
I don't know. He's got a lot of bees already.
Oh,
Why just that one?
What's that one?
Oh.
What about? I'm gonna.
Amador is like, he wants her because she's the queen bee,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
I was wondering if it was gonna go there.
but he can't
Amador.
have her.
We-
Amador. I mean, if she's the queen of the hive, the whole hive, they're gonna need the queen. Does she
they couldn't
want to
die
go?
without her?
It's science. The others are
And
gonna
could you
get
go
confused.
with her? Because there's plenty of room on the giant for a flower.
I don't want
Yeah.
to-
What if
Be
you?
true to herself, right? I mean,
What if
Never
you
had
guys
a
work
roommate
together?
before.
Or like a custody agreement type thing. Like she works for a little while and then
Yeah.
she comes home like a normal person
Mhm.
and you guys live your life and then she goes back to work. Then
Yeah.
she comes home and back to work and then home.
Yeah.
All right.
That way he gets his mead. You get your snuggle time.
Don't get caught with
This is-
another bee pollinating you, though.
it's a lot of bees.
You're taking a different approach to this. I like it, but it's going to be very difficult. This is going to be DC 20 persuasion check.
Oh.
Ooh.
I'll let
Let's
you
see.
decide who it makes
Anything.
that.
Get a maple. That's
Would we?
well.
You got. You can use a
Reroll.
reroll.
I was gonna ask
Hold on.
if it could help.
I don't
Dang
think
it,
that's
there's
worth a
nothing I can do.
reroll.
There's a 2 in 10 chance.
Yeah, I'm not gonna reroll that.
I mean 1 in 10 chance.
Can't.
And he says, "Absolutely not."
Well, do we just let you guys fight each other to the death then, or what's the protocol here?
I am willing to lay down my life to keep my betrothed free.
Now, what did your
I'm going
betrothed
to
say?
miss you.
Your betrothed wants to leave out the family?
You will be
What?
remembered.
What if you live inside the hive?
Like,
Because the queen controls everybody. So she could be like, hey, this guy, this is my hubby. Don't touch him. So, and then you guys can just hang together. And then, yeah.
no, this is not an acceptable. I cannot be with all those bees. There's only one bee for me, and that is Polynilla.
Polynilla.
I mean,
And,
I really think this is up to Palmanilla. Just, do we even ask her?
I couldn't understand a word she said. I would like to.
Yeah, she was just buzzing, and I wanted to ask her opinion. Like, Polynilla, do you want this, or do you want this?
Take care of your hive.
She just kind of clings to buzzing around Amador's head and kind of clings to him, and
Okay.
She likes Amador, so this isn't like she was kidnapped and then like he's just not letting her go back kind of thing. It's like she's tired of working for this giant one-eyed drunk and she wants her freedom. So I think we should help.
Isn't it I mean,
Oh boy.
I heard that like bees can assign a new queen.
Yeah, can
Like,
she
what
go in there and make a new queen?
Yeah. Like assign a new queen, or I don't know. Usually queens have to lay eggs. Does she lay a new queen? Like lay a new egg queen, or I don't know.
I didn't know that's how it worked.
Anybody
I might be
have
getting confused with
does
something
anybody
else.
have really good nature skills to help us try to figure out this plan?
No.
Actually, I do.
All right,
I
give
do
me
have
a
nature.
give me a nature
Yeah.
check.
Sense.
Can I do?
If you're proficient in nature, sure.
Yep.
Oh,
Oh.
I'm proficient in nature.
Oh my god.
Go, Lim, go.
Can you use that reroll, please? Seriously?
That's right, Lim.
I am the Charlie Brown.
I got 23. We're good.
So, on the 23, Vish, you would know this as well.
Mhm.
It isn't up. It wouldn't be up to the former queen to choose a new queen. It would be up to the worker bees to choose.
Was this like some sort of we've got to do like a union? We got to form like a union thing up for them to help them decide here or organize a vote? Could we bring out the vote?
If you
Grassroots type campaign to get the bees out to the polls?
if you had a way of maybe communicating with the bees, then maybe you could convince them.
Well,
probably,
it's a good thing
you can
Amardo
s-
here can communicate with the bees.
You know what's sad? I totally thought about taking tongues earlier. I'm pretty sure that lets you do that. And then I was like, nah, we
Would've been
probably
nice.
won't need that.
Nah, never.
We're in chapter 4 of the Wild of the Witchlight.
So if you guys are right and the worker bees have to figure it out, Amardo here can talk to him. That's a lot of
Oh,
bees.
yeah.
Yeah, could you just tell them to elect a new queen? Or would that really be? Oh, could you do that?
He wants to smash my face in. You want me to?
Amardo, do you speak giant?
No.
Okay.
How about
Just checking.
your friend? Do you speak giant?
Oh,
Because we get the bee.
you're talking about Gleam?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good question. Let me take a look. No, she doesn't.
I know who is Squirt.
You call it Squirt?
Do you have giant? Do you know giant?
Of course I do. Is that something to be useful right now?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'll give it a try. Little oil can floats up in the air and zooms over to where the Cyclops is.
Bravest oil can ever.
And then the Cyclops goes, "Oh,
Oh.
And then Squirt comes back over and he says, he wants to know why he shouldn't smash in that dandelion over there."
Well, because of love.
Bees love dandelions.
What is hey, what is love?
Baby,
Yes.
don't hurt me.
No.
I
You
just
know how
know
you
okay.
feel?
I know giant. I know a lot of things. I don't know about love.
You know how you feel about oil? That feeling you feel?
Of course I do. It's the most fantastic feeling in the world.
So that's how sometimes creatures feel about other creatures. Like they can't live without them. But not in a creepy way. More of a understanding way. That's love. Not
Like-
creepy.
Like when two gears get all oiled up, slicked up, and then they're just
work
kind of grinded up
together.
against each
And-
other, and they make
Not
the
so
whole machine
grindy.
work.
That's
Yeah,
more
but
of a
they're
lust situation that
coggy,
you're
more
describing, I
coggy.
think.
more coggy,
Coggy.
less
Some
jammy.
things.
Let's jam it. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Ooh, I'll go talk to him about that. Squirt goes and flies up to the face of the Cyclops. Hey,
At this point, Maple's gonna back up behind Shion just a little bit. It's like, I'm learning so much today.
Cyclops is just nodding.
Yeah, something. That's for sure.
Oh. Whoa. And he kind of goes over and then, oh, and he goes over to the dandelion and pats him on like the top of the flower. And he just kind of blows a kiss to the bee. Oh, whoa, whoa.
Wow, we might have figured something
Whoa.
out. We figured out how to talk about it.
Woof.
Way to go, Squirt!
And he's like holding up his mug. Woof.
He's got it.
And then Squirt comes over. Oh boy, this guy is a raging alcoholic. He said he understands exactly what we mean. That he loves to drink.
So then, what is our solution for getting him a new queen bee?
I think that just happens with time. Like if the other one's gone, then they have to elect a new one, right? Or create a new one. I don't know.
Well, he seems like he's willing to. He said he understands if those two feel the way that he does about drinking. There's no way that he could separate them, and he'll figure out a new way forward. But it turns out he invited us to go with him to try out some of his mead. He said it's like a honey alcohol, some kind of honey oil that you guys might want.
Mead?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
you can try that.
Oh,
I remember
I'm familiar
trying
with
Papa's
what
mead
mead
once.
is.
it tastes
It's
good.
it's a drink. It's sweet and
I like-
warm.
Make
Oh.
it feel funny.
Yeah. If you drink
I
enough of
only
it.
took a sip of Papa's.
Okay, we should go with him.
Yep.
Glance up to see if the rain clouds are any less stifling.
Yeah, they're starting to light up. It's just like a light rain. It's not downpouring on you. It sort of blends
Hey, would
into
you
maybe
like to
kind of
come
like the
with us?
general atmosphere because now it is sort of just raining everywhere, and so the dark cloud kind of melds a bit.
I put my hood back up.
We did good.
And yeah, so plan you want. I mean, it seems like Mudlump, or you don't know his. Squirt tells you, hey, guy's name is Mudlump. Can you believe that? What a stupid name, huh?
No, it's okay.
Well, he got a little
Really
smarter
hope
today.
that guy doesn't understand common. Whew.
Well, if you want, we could just follow him over there.
Yeah.
So you start to follow Mudlump, the Cyclops beekeeper, and he takes you. It seems like probably not the direction up to the castle, but it's not too far, maybe a mile away or so. And you can see there's sort of like this little, just kind of a sheer rock wall on one side. Ground is pretty flat, and there are these like big 6-foot tall like mushrooms that are standing around. And in the center of it all, there's like this huge, it looks like a tree stump that's sort of like grown, like its roots bear down into like cracks in the stone earth, and it like kind of defied nature a little bit and grew on the top of this mountain. But The tree is obviously dead. It's just a rotted stump that's left. And Mudlump kind of goes over to he goes over to one of the mushrooms, and he lifts up like the cap of the mushroom. It appears that like the stalk of the this enormous mushroom must be some kind of receptacle, because he draws down his mug into it, and you hear some liquid kind of splashing about, and he pulls it up and he sets down the mug in front of you all, and it's pretty big. Like the mug itself is probably like 3 feet tall. It's like kind of like a barrel sized mug, but there's like this kind of golden amber liquid in there that smells of alcohol mead, and he's like, ah.
Thank you.
And then he just kind of goes and meanders over by that stump, and you can see there's like bees flying about the stump, and he takes the kind of hive thing that's on the end of the stick, and he like kind of opens it up like it's a canister, and like lets the bees kind of filter out, and they zoom down into this hive.
You mentioned the area around the stump is kind of dead and lifeless now. Maple has druidcraft, and she'd like to try to help with that a little bit. Just sometimes things that are wicked or rotten can be brought back. And just let's get some dandelions or flowers popping up over here a little bit.
Okay, kind of beautify it a little bit. And as you do that, Cyclops kind of looks and he goes, "Oh, ooh."
I'm gonna go.
Tiniest sip of the mead.
It tastes delicious. Like it is very sweet. You could feel its potency. Your cheeks get pretty red just even taking a few sips.
That's delicious. Don't drink too much.
Huh? And you see, you just see Rich like, look.
Oh yeah, Maple's all
Be
in.
careful. Be careful, guys. It's strong.
Gonna take a teeny tiny.
I'm not much of a drinker. Oh.
I plopped down on the ground.
So, it seems that you're in relative safety here. The beekeeper kind of tends. He kind of gives this offering, and then it seems like he goes back to work, tending to the bees, checking on the mead and whatnot. Just doing some tasks around his little camp here. Amador and the queen bee. Pollinella, they're just kind of off by themselves, and he's muttering sweet nothings to her. And then Gleam is probably over by the rest of you. Like she's kind of anticipating hearing what the plan is, what you want to do next, because she's very much would like for you to be able to get into Motherhorn so that her sister Glister could be. And maybe seeing that looks like Arlo, looks like Joe stepped away. Why don't we take like a 5-10 minute break right here? Just so I think we need everybody probably to have that conversation. So thanks everybody for hanging out with us. Thanks earlier, Albinosaurus Jones. Thank you for the gifted subs. It was 5-10 minutes. We'll be right back.
I'm happy we were able to resolve this conflict without
I don't want to be
that
remembered
dandelion getting crushed, because I don't think that the dandelion stood much of a chance against the beekeeper.
and I didn't want to be remembered as a murder hobo.
I think it's a little late for that.
I know.
It?
I mean, maybe I could change.
Maybe there is a redemption arc. Maybe things can change. So, welcome back,
Dreams
everybody.
can come true.
Dreams can come true. Thanks for sticking it out with us. We're the second half of our game here for the night. During the break, the players had been having some conversation about things that they are thinking about doing. wanting to be doing. So I'll let them kind of recap you with what they're thinking, and then just continue that conversation.
Sure. I think the general consensus so far among the group was that we don't really have enough to go on to implement our plan, sort of get some form of big performance going at the castle to lure Granny Nightshade from thither beyond. So I think we were mostly in agreement that we'd like to keep exploring Yan some more to learn more about the land and maybe help get some better ideas of how we could implement a performance plan. Um, so I had heard a couple of destinations. Um, one was Stonehenge. We're building a henge. And the other was essentially trying to track down the person who's lighting these. What were they called?
Beacons
Braziers.
or braziers.
Fissures, yeah.
What are y'all's passive perceptions?
I want to say
10.
11. Let me double check.
Mine is 17.
So Arlo,
11.
during this little respite that you're taking here, one thing that you notice about Gleam is that as like the lightning cracks and there's this sort of big flashbang, of light that cascades over the group, you notice that Gleam doesn't have a shadow. Just a
Vampire.
thing that you notice.
Is it a vampire thing? Is that a vampire thing? That's reflections, right?
Technically, yeah.
Shadows. Sometimes not having a shadow in literature means they don't have a soul, but I don't think that's the case here because Gleam seemed pretty sad when we were talking about Jetto.
You tell the rest of
Saw
us.
her go back and do a tear here. Wipe away a tear. I think that's what she was doing. I don't tell the rest of the people just yet because she's here, you know?
Right.
Like, when I get opportunities, I would, like, inform the others that I noticed that maybe maybe each one of them in private or something.
Yeah, like maybe when you're walking or traveling and you can like hang back and
Yeah.
like kind of one by one maybe talk to everybody. But you probably notice this because Gleam is kind of like listening to your plan and you talk and he says, "Oh, Arlo, I have it's not really concrete information, but it's a hunch that I have something that maybe could be useful against Endolin, but I have a feeling I know why she took Glister and sent me away. I've heard I heard while I was in there in Motherhorn that she's got some kind of device where she can predict the future. What do they call it? Something they called the Orary of Tragedies. And a lot of people whisper about it that she's used it to see how she will die. Apparently, she's convinced that she's going to die during an eclipse. So me wearing my moon mask and my sister her sun mask, I don't know if she saw that as like an omen and wanted to split us up or what, but that's sort of what I'm gathering from that. Again, I don't know how that is helpful or even if it's true, but
Every little bit helps.
A little psychological warfare.
Yeah, we'll put a little eclipse. What if we start making like propaganda posters? They can have a little eclipse on them.
Just no context. It just has an eclipse.
Yeah.
you'd
Yes.
probably catch her attention if you did that.
Big brother is watching. Eclipse.
That's something to keep in mind.
There's another thing that maybe I should share with you, Arlo. Do you remember Hurley?
Why? I feel like that was one of the people early that we met at the carnival that was Was he the one that was holding onto
Is-
the? It was the captor. Like we had that guy that was invisible causing all the trouble, and then Hurley. I thought Hurley was like the drunken guy that was like watching us.
It
Or
was
that? No, Hurley was a different.
it was
one.
his brother Burley that you're
Burley, okay.
talking to, but Hurley is his brother, also a bugbear, and also worked with you at the Witchlight Carnival. And she says that she saw Hurley up there as well.
Hurley's up at the other. What are we
Mother
calling
horn?
it? Mother horn.
Yeah, I don't think captured. It seemed like he was kind of like a stagehand, or he was working there.
Oh, okay.
Didn't get a chance really to talk to him, but he looked
Well,
just as
maybe-
unhappy as ever.
Yeah. Well, sure, that makes sense. Tigers don't change their stripes after all. Some do. I was just talking about how people can change. And then I said that. Sorry. Being very lady here. Maybe that's another way to potentially get in too if necessary. If she's hiring or keeping old stagehands from the carnival there, maybe I would be able to eventually using this ticket, be like, hey, show me around your stage. Maybe I can help because I used to blah blah blah. We can let that percolate.
Good
well,
idea, though.
This is good information to have.
I'm thinking while we do just that. Just get as much information as we can, because it sounds like in order to kind of get their attention, kind of sway them. Moongrave is the theater one. With Moongrave and like her like fortune seeing thing, I think it would help if we kind of, or not fortune, with her future seeing thing, I think it would be best if we just had as much as we can to work with, to give us the best chance. Because I'm sure by now maybe she has heard of stuff happening around from like her sisters. Either like through like them telling like rumors to each other, because that seems to be a thing they like to do. Maybe except Avlorna, she likes to just hide away in her hut. But I have a feeling that there might be some form of correspondence. So we might need to take our time with this one.
Should we aim for the hinges first, or
Good for that.
So, the five of you, along with Gleam comes with you, and Amador and Queen Bee, come with you as well. When you make your way over there to this Stonehenge, it's atop a boulder-strewn plateau, and there is a circle here that contains 8 megaliths. And in the center of the henge is what looks like a small checkered game board with stone playing pieces that rests on the ground near the dying embers of campfire. Looks like is kind of pieces of rain kind of hitting the hot coals and just kind of sizzling out, just barely any glow there.
Would we be able to recognize like what type of game it might be for? You say kind of like checkered board like, but is it a specific type of game, like checkers versus chess or something else?
Yeah, why don't you make just like a intelligence check?
I can do that. Let's see.
Or if you're proficient with any game tools or game kits.
I don't think I am actually.
Okay.
No.
It's like a game that you've like seen at the maybe when you were like at the orphanage a little bit during Waterdeep. Like you definitely seen this game like on the shelf, but You think it's like some variation of chess, but like you never played it. Like this type of game is like something you never played with.
Gotcha. Well, what do you guys think that is?
Well, it's obviously a game of some sort, and someone's been here, and perhaps they're still around.
Yeah. Anybody?
I look around.
Yeah. Any other signs of around here that there was recently someone here? I don't know if we scared them off or if they just would have left. Or I'll kind of
Give a
wander
survival
around a
check.
little bit.
There was definitely some like kind of hoof-looking like prints that you see, kind of like mud, and it seems like they lead to like these monoliths.
Do the monoliths have markings on them?
They don't
Does
have
the stone
any.
look like this?
No, like no writing or runes or anything like that. But you can give me an investigation check.
That's my girl.
Just different shapes,
Mm-hmm.
different color.
Obviously the same as the pieces on the board.
I would say with that, like, as you're kind of looking at the stone and trying to maybe size them up to see, there's two types of pieces, and they do seem to correspond to two of the stones. One seems to be made of shale, and the other seems to be made of like kind of a chalk stone.
While we're up here too, and I have a better vantage point to look at the braziers, I do want to look across at them and see if I notice anything about them.
Sorry, what was that?
Oh, I said while we're up here and I have a better vantage point, I will go ahead and look at the braziers and see if I can notice anything about them.
You don't see any braziers here. What you do see, maybe, is that like over here, what this is it's like this huge copper rod. It's like 30 feet tall. It's got a little sun at the end of it, but it seems like it's a kind of, once in a while you see like a piece of lightning like strike down on that, and seems like it kind of channels that lightning and hums a bit after it happens, and then starts to wind down or calm down. But once in a while you see arcs hit that, and then like sort of cascade and like shoot between all of these other like rods that you see at the top of these books, kind of creating like
Got
a
it.
channel that rings its way all the way up, and it seems like this energy maybe is being transferred and sent up to the castle.
Got it. Okay. It's a generator.
Gleam maybe makes the
Guys-
comment as you kind of point that out. She says, maybe whatever the Orary of Tragedies is, maybe this is how it's, maybe this is what powers it, or where its energy source comes from.
Yeah, it's definitely a battery of some sort.
Cool.
Other things that you all are doing or looking at.
Do we know anything more about that? They mentioned there was a race of dwarfish type
Yeah.
that maybe hung out by this henge a bit. Do you have any other info we could possibly know to help us maybe try to track down some life forms up here to maybe question? Or, I mean, does it look like... It looked like hooves were here before, right? That's kind of what we gathered, but
Yeah, I say anybody wants to do either nature check or an arcana check.
I will happily help assist someone if they want to do a nature or arcana check.
Do a nature.
Ooh.
Let's see. Okay. So, Vish, with the 23 nature, you heard Gleam said the word Korrid, or named the creature as a Korrid.
Mm-hmm.
And when you were in Waterdeep, you spent maybe some time in the libraries and such, and there were some children's books that maybe your grandfather read to you about Korrids. And what you remember about them, they're big, they're almost like satyr-looking creatures, but maybe a little stout, and they have really long, strong hair, so strong that they like make like rope out of it. And in the little fairy tale book that you used to love as a child that had this type of character, they could usually kind of command it to like. This is maybe why you loved this story so much, is they could command it to be like a tool or a lasso or do whatever they wanted. It could shape itself to like whatever function that the core had needed it for. And in the story that you remember, like Chords would play games often, like jump rope games, or they're very playful. The other thing that they could do is that they are lovers of the earth and gemstones and these types of things. And Shion, with your 18, is maybe Fish, maybe you're sharing some of this.
Mm-hmm.
It strikes you that maybe if these tracks are leading up to these like these megaliths here, they might have like magical ability to like meld into stone or turn into stone themselves, and maybe that explains why these footprints are leading into stones the way they are. And I would say, knowing all of this, and you're looking at these different megaliths, these stone structures that are erected up, you can kind of see like vague, right? Like you have to kind of contort your mind or like dig into your imagination, but you feel like you can kind of see little faces kind of smushed into like the grain of like the stone and the cracks and crevices. But you really have to stretch your imagination to see it.
Went really hard.
I just sit there and I'll look at one and just wave. And point, like random, just not even if I see it or not, but I'm pointing at a stone and just start waving, maybe.
And nothing happens.
Mm-hmm. Well.
You have the feeling that maybe they're in the stones. Because look at their footprints disappear right before the stone. What if they become a part of the stone? Maybe that's what happens.
Well. Hello? Are you there?
Yeah,
Anyone?
is that a thing that can be done magically or inherently by things? If
Sure.
so, maybe we should just hang here and ask them to come out.
Hello? She's gonna kind of get in close and like.
Plus,
How
two
would
of these
we
things look
tell
like
if they for
doorways.
sure were there? Like, how would you know that they are literally in there? You know, like, if it could just be maybe they just carved their own faces into these stones.
I mean, that could be too, but do you see how the prints just kind of disappear?
I don't feel like.
Doorways.
Can I go over to one that like someone kind of points out like vaguely has a face? And would I be able to cast suggestion on it?
Look up suggestion quick.
Yeah, let me see. Where did I save it? Oh,
I'll
there it is.
point at the one that I can see the most prevalent face on. I think this one's really good. You have to squint really hard.
Let's see. You suggest a course of activity and magically influence a creature you can see within range that can hear and understand you. Creatures that can't be
There's
charmed
the
or
problem.
immune. Oh yeah, that's a problem. It's worth a try, right?
Sure.
Wisdom saving throw and a failed save, assuming they can be, assuming they are able to be charmed. They make a wisdom saving throw. And it can last for 8 hours. Cool.
Are you doing this? Are you attempting to cast this?
Oh yeah, sorry. I thought you were
Okay.
reading stuff. Yeah, sorry.
So you attempt to cast the spell. You expend the spell slot. Nothing seems to happen.
Man.
Mabel's gonna head over to the game board and just try to start moving the pieces. I don't think I rolled to see if I understand the game yet, but I've been rolling low.
Okay.
But they just look interesting. She just wants to get her hands on them and maybe feel her way through that puzzle.
And are you just like randomly moving them, or are you trying to like understand the game and?
Maple's trying to understand it.
Okay. Give me an intelligence check.
Yep, that's about right.
Okay.
I think I'll use my reroll, but I don't expect miracles.
Just reroll. All right.
Hey, good job, Maple.
All right.
Woo.
So definitely, it is a variation of chess that is being played. And as you're looking at the board, maybe you played a lot of like chess with your brother or something, and maybe he even let you win once in a while. But you understand the rules enough that you know that the game is, it's like late game. It's like in the final rounds of it, and it looks like slate stone pieces could beat the chalk pieces in a single move. You can see a place where it could move its queen and put the other in checkmate.
Okay. And I just look over to Shion. I think she looks busy, and I'm just gonna quickly move it there. See what happens. Trying to get in trouble.
You do that, and there is a chord creature that emerges from one of the megaliths here, and it looks like kind of like it has like a hairy face, but maybe no mustache, and it has sort of braided hair and like gemstones braided into its weave, and it's just like lets out a triumphant yeah, and it runs over to you and like hey, high five. And then you can see one by one, like these creatures are popping out from all of the megaliths. There's one that looks dejected, but the one with all these gemstones in her braided, woven hair is just like pointing, ha ha ha, in your face. That was my move I was going to play. I won, sucker. Hey, what's your name? You seem like you're pretty good. Want to play a game?
Yes.
Okay. That's good. We should play a game, but first, you gotta learn how to dance. How's your rhythm?
That's your specialty, isn't it?
I have some have said that I can dance.
You can see some of the other chords are like rolling out boulders, and they're starting to like hit them and like kind of create this like kind of drum circle beat. And this chord is just like, you got this, sister. Come on, show me what you got.
That excites Maple because she actually knows how to use drums. It's the one like tool or instrument she's got.
Okay.
So
you want to kind of dance with this, maybe drum a bit in the midst of it. Give me a performance check at advantage.
Thank you. Give up the natural one for the 12.
Would you like to re-roll?
Yes. But I've used 2 now.
Yes.
Do it.
Reroll.
We need
Okay,
friends.
Okay.
You can see like you're kind of awkwardly jaunting, and they're like, this
There it is.
and then they're like,
Oh,
It's
nice.
You switch
she
it
has
up.
to get into the,
Nat 20, there you go.
she starts to mimic the way they were moving a little bit. She adds that to it.
So the rain stops, and there's like a little crack in the clouds, a little like kind of gleam of sunlight down on like right where you're kind of dancing in the midst of these megaliths.
And that's when she throws some airborne into it. She gets it into the air, does its little flip, comes back down.
And they're just grinning. They're just like these big shit-eating grins. They're just like, that's it, that's it, that's what we needed. And they're clapping and they're just cheering you on. One of them kind of elbows
Throw my hood back down.
you know, like, hey, what's her name? What's her name?
Her name is Mabel. She's
Mabel.
amazing.
Maple. 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 And there's this, it's bewildering to all of you, but these things are dancing and they're having a good time. And after I don't know, a few minutes of this pass, maybe 10 minutes or so, they kind of settle down a little bit. You can see they're puffing and puffing, maybe a little exhausted, and they all kind of sit down. They kind of like lay out. They're just kind of hanging out amongst the boulders and rocks. And, hey, how about the rest of you? Y'all dance?
Not well.
Yeah, not well, but I could try.
Hey, that's all that matters. That all that matters. Hey, Maple, those are some pretty sick moves. You know, you can use that dance to command one like us. Our hair. And you see he starts to dance and like his hair, or sorry, her, it's a female that you're talking to. Her beard kind of like lifts up and her weave of the back of her hair kind of turns into a lasso and she starts to kind of like flip it around as she's dancing. You can control Corrid head hair too with those dance moves. Just give it a try. She stops. It all goes kind of straight down.
Okay. Does they start drumming again?
They'll start drumming. Yeah.
Okay.
Maple.
Cool. All right, and on the maple, I'll try to cue, and then I'll dance some more. I'm trying to get her hair just to come up, wave, and go back down.
It starts to wave, and they go, "Oh, she's got the moves."
That's so Cord. And it's the next like 5-10 minutes. Just... Can I make my wings do that? No, I think I can move my wings anyways. Okay, my hair. She's trying to implement it in any way.
Doesn't work. Doesn't seem to work on your own hair, but it seems to work specifically on the little hairs on all the heads of the mustaches of the Corrids.
That's so cute.
Vish would go up to one and just say, I would like to let you know that it is an honor to meet you and your kind. I have done extensive research about all of the things that you do. I had a great book when I was little. My grandpa would read it to me all the time. It's called Bippity Boo, the Chord in You.
Bippy Boo?
Bippity Boo, the Chord in You. And I used to call me his little chord.
Oh. Is it about our blood war with the Briganox?
It said something about you that you would. I think there might have been like fighting is bad. We've learned it the hard way. So
We have.
it's not rad. We slept forever. Wait,
A long day.
a long day for a long day. Thank you. That's what
It must be bad translation. Chord language
I
is
don't know.
all rough and not very
It
poetic.
loses something in the translation, yeah.
No, Tion, this is who. This is what. This is the book. Remember I told you about the book? Just the book. This is
Yeah,
the people.
this place is kind of amazing. I've seen a lot of things that I've heard about too, but only from Papa and only in passing.
Well, we can't do it so often. She's always watching. Her and the Briganox. The Briganox. Have you seen any Briganox?
What do they look like?
Not yet.
They're real gross. They're kind of gangly looking, and they got like nasty hair. Like not like our hair is awesome, but their hair. They got these droopy mustaches and beards, kind of like ours. But again, gross, very gross. And they kind of got like mouse faces, like rats, big rats, and they got pickaxes, and they just mining all the time and digging up and ruining all the rock. And well, they're cowards, and they just make me so mad talking about it. Well, they thrown in with her, and they're helping her out, and they're digging up people's gemstones, and they got a whole mine. They're digging up wishes.
They're helping
Whoa.
who?
Wishes?
The bitter end. Indolin.
Oh,
Bitter end.
the dandelion mentioned something about a bitter end. What
Indolin.
is? Oh, the Endolin's the.
Turn a name.
Creeping
for-
Lynn.
Another name for him.
Oh. So it's like an.
Lynn, bitter
like-
end.
Your mama.
Yo, mama!
Your
Mama!
mama.
Just opened the door.
Oh! They're all like scurrying, and you see them all like run, and they like meld back into the megaliths.
No,
No,
like
we just say that to be funny.
Wait, what did we say?
Your mama. About Endolin, the bitter end.
because she took care of me for a couple of years.
Oh, that's right.
All
I
that
mean, she's
stuff.
adopted, probably, with vague memories.
Yeah, like
That might be useful.
a step. Like you've heard stories about not all steps. You know, I mean, like Cinderella. You know, that was a it was her mom, but was it really? You know. I mean,
So you find
Yeah.
you find yourselves all alone. Like they got spooked, super spooked as soon as they heard that.
yeah.
I am going to request that we don't call her my mother. I don't even really remember her that well.
All right, let's take a note. Oh, we'll
No,
just
your
take a note
mama's.
for next time.
Got
No
it.
more your mom.
No more your mama jokes.
So she's got some of her, I guess they're talking to like the rocks that they ran into. So she's got some of her stuff, and we plan on, I don't know, trying to get it back and whatever. What are you not, guys?
We're not listening. Yeah, they're gone.
Hi.
We can dance some more. Maybe we can.
I can
Yeah,
try.
start jumping and dancing.
I will get out my drum.
Try to dance, I guess.
I don't want to
dance.
insult them.
I'll move.
We've got a lot of things to make right here. Could use
yeah,
some help.
Give me a performance check.
Okay, we'll just. Hey, good job, Maple.
You are dancing and performing the best of your ability, and like you're feeling pretty confident while you do it. No one emerges.
That's okay.
But there is again kind of a little crack of sunbeam comes down, stops raining again while you're doing the dance.
All right. Well, maybe
Nice.
we've gleaned all we can here. You know that there is there's people mining gems, we would know a little bit more about
Well,
what they
wishes. They
meant
said
by their
wishes.
mining wishes. Yeah. Maybe we can find someone who knows more about that.
I agree. I also think we need to talk to the prince. Well, the one the oil can't call it the prince.
Right, that's right. I forgot about
Mhm.
Squirt's Prince.
Yes, I'd like to check out the braziers in the prince
Yeah.
Okay.
Should we just head over there since our
and hopefully
friends
stop
are
this
involved.
wish mining.
Yeah, we need to
Yeah.
look at that too.
Wishes are bad.
Because we don't like the bitter end. Please.
It's just real quiet
What she
right
really
now.
meant to say was, "Your mama's so bitter." They call her the end. She didn't mean like her mom
But
really was. It was like this is like a Waterdeep kind of joke
Water.
nomenclature
Yep.
vernacular.
Yeah,
You know, your
water.
mama
Yep.
jokes.
All right,
Your
make
mama
Yeah,
a
jokes
make a
mama
might be
deception
funny.
check.
That water deep humor.
Avoid deception, me. Okay.
Yep. You want to re-roll?
We have one left yet?
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
2 left.
I mean, I don't know if it's gonna get a whole lot better than this, folks. What do you think? Should I try it one more time?
Yeah, give it a try.
Go for it.
Okay, I will give it one more roll. There go.
There you
Okay.
go.
That's
It
not the
got
worst
better.
deception check ever.
I'm really glad I didn't say couldn't be worse.
The main chord, the initial one, pops back out, and she says, "Okay. Well, you sure you're not like a spy? You want to help us with the Brigandox?"
Yes.
Yes.
Correct.
We
You
absolutely
wanna
want to
stop?
help with those.
Do we want to stop wish mining if it's wrong?
we don't like what the witch has been doing.
But could you tell us more about wish mining and what that actually means?
Well, they go deep in the earth, and people make wishes on all over different worlds. Sometimes they can collect in the mines, kind of form like kind of a gemstone. And this then is they're waiting to be fulfilled, but bringing out because it becomes valuable. It kind of like the deeper, more personal the wish, maybe the more valuable the gemstones. Brigandox clearing them out. Endelin's using them for something, but they are helping, and they're just mining and hitting things down there, and it's raucous and loud, and it's like nails on a chalkboard. I hate them so much.
Do you know
Oh.
why the prince is trying to light the braziers?
Yeah, silly guy up the road.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, he's trying to go home. I think
Aw.
Enderlin told him if he lit all the braziers, he could go home.
Are they difficult?
No, they're pretty easy to light, but there's a bunch of kind of these strange-looking bird things with antlers that keep messing with them. They come down. Every time he lights one, they swoop down. They kind of their wings. They just kind of blow it out.
There we
Then
go.
they
We need
laugh.
to find out about that. Bird
What?
creatures, are they around here?
Yeah, they're just up the road, a few miles.
Good to
Maybe
know.
we could ask them to stop that.
Or help him light the braziers.
And then while we're at it, I think we could. So what's the story? Are the braziers like far apart?
Yeah, too far for he just walks. He's just walking up the stairs by each spire, lights it, and he's walking down. They're pretty far apart, so
Yeah, maybe we could help with that. Help him earn his way back home.
I agree. Mabel and I
Then
can
we
help with that too.
yeah we can work with we can also try to help with the mining of wishes.
Not
Amador,
help to stop it.
Yeah, the help to stop it is what I meant.
Yes.
How does that work? Would the people make a wish, and then if they mind the wishes, they don't come true? I mean, that sounds horrible.
Sorry, before you switch gears here, Amador says those birds that they speak of. I've actually talked with them a little bit. They claim that at one time they were performers, some kind of an acting troupe. They call themselves what was it? I think it was the Greyhawk Mummers.
That is fantastic. Thank you.
Sorry, so the flying deer used to be traveling performers called the Greyhawk Murmurs?
Greyhawk Mummers.
Mummers. Okay.
Then why are you doing that stuff?
I wonder if it's a similar thing, like the witch told the one guy that if he lights them, he can go home, but then he told the other deer that if they put out the fires, then they can go home. And so it's just an endless cycle of them putting out and starting fires.
And get everybody talking. Figure out what everybody wants. We fix this.
We need the birds to put on a show so that we can help light the brazier to get that guy home. And then the birds can come out and put them all out, right? It would seem easy.
Yeah,
So
that
many
sounded easy.
schemings. So much scheming we could try to do here. I mean, planning.
Or we could
Scheming sounds
Just
All the
tell
planning.
everyone the truth. Yeah, just planning.
Yeah, we could
Did,
try to
uh,
get. Well, we could have a sit down again with the prince and with the traveling performers. Come to an agreement, sort of like we did with Amador and Mud Slurp. Mud.
Mud. Oh, mud.
Mud
Mud
stump?
lump.
Mud
Mud
lump.
lump.
Mud. Okay. Oh, wait.
And speaking of Amador, would you be willing to help act as our translator? Because I don't know if we can speak flying deer.
Oh, of course. Happy to do that if you're unable to communicate with them.
What do they speak?
As a creature of nature, I somewhat familiar with bird-like speech myself,
Okay.
but I believe that they may even speak your language. They're very intelligent.
Oh,
I
okay.
suppose if they were performers, they might at least. Yeah, if they were a traveling performance troupe, they may speak the common tongue.
Can we ask them why they did that? Why they were doing those things?
I got the sense they were doing it out of a sense of amusement. But no, I suspect based on some things that they had told me that they were not always this way. I believe they may be able to communicate with you just fine.
Perfect.
Woo!
All right. I guess. I wonder if there's. I don't know. Is there anything else we should ask before we leave these guys alone?
Is there some place maybe are those people that are mining? Are they dangerous?
They're wimps. We can take them. But
We don't have to if we can just convince them to stop mining wishes, right?
if you think you can deal with them, Briganox, I wouldn't trust them.
That's a good question, actually. So, do you know? Are they mining them for Endolin or?
It has to be.
Okay. Okay, I can't think of any more questions. I'm sure there
then
are more questions to ask.
So presumably, maybe Endelin takes advantage of these, finds the people who made these wishes, and offers raw deals to make those wishes come true, like she
Oh,
did, with Glister and stuff like that, right? So
that's
she finds these
diabolical.
wishes, and then she can maybe locate those people, help their wishes come true, and not really the way they intended, and then they're bound to her again.
Wow.
That's it. That must be it. That's why they're doing it. We need to root them out. What do you say?
Yeah,
we can
we
dance
do.
our way down into the mines and kick some butt.
Yes. Wait.
Let's
Dance
wait
our
until we
way
get some
down.
more information first. That way we're prepared.
Sometimes I just have to pay attention to my conscience and I look up.
Still like a little sliver of sunlight. The clouds start to kind of come back together after the dance.
Yeah.
Well, should we come back and talk to her if we find anything else out, or you go with us, or what are you thinking?
I got a kingdom to run here, so I'm probably going to stick around. I'm the queen.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Oh. Once
We need to
you're
talk to
ready
her
to
again?
step it up and you want to, get in there with us, fight the good fight, you come and find us. We'll be ready.
Wish Mine
Cool.
Revolution will
I love it.
happen someday.
Alrighty then, goodbye. She jumps into the stone.
Okay.
Does a little it's a stone.
Oh, there's that then. Apparently they
Well, that
can
ended
melt
on a better
the
note.
stone.
So am I gathering it right that your next thing that you would like to do would be to go and help this elf, Prince Alan
Yeah.
Garthus?
Yes.
All right. Well, given the time, maybe we will hold on this one until next time. And see how that plays out. And then we will, just see whether after that, if you want to go with the Chords and do whatever their violent plan is, or it seems like you've got an invitation. You could go to the castle as well. Those seem to be kind of like the destinations or the focal points that you're aware of. Are kind of like those three options at this point. So, with that said, thanks everybody for hanging out with us here tonight on 20 Sides to Every Story. Let's just pop up the schedule one more time here. Let's see what all we got going on this week. Tomorrow night, DM Dave will be running Dragonlance Rise of the Magistrate at 7 p.m. Thursday, 7:30. We got Joe T will be on the stream here doing some Tragic Sides to Every Story. Not exactly sure what the game of the week is this week, but you can always pop into the Discord server. I'm sure he'll post something about what he's thinking. Friday night, very exciting. We've got a sneak preview of the next Original Adventures Reincarnated number 7 from Goodman Games. We'll be playing some DCC RPG through the module Secrets of the Sphinx, one of the stretch goals for the Kickstarter that they're running for the Dark Tower. Saturday at 7, we got Storm King's Thunder. And then Sunday night, you can stop by to see part 2 of Secrets of the Sphinx, that version being run in D&D 5e. So we are 20 Sides. If you enjoyed watching the stream, you want to hang out, get to know us a little bit better, I'd encourage you to pop by the Discord server. You might even be able to get into a game yourself, either through our community campaign or pick up a game in our LFG channel where some of our DMs recruit. If you really enjoy the content that we put out and want to support us, one of the best ways you can do that is just through our Patreon page. I'll put the link to that in the chat here as well. And with that, let's see if we've got anyone we can raid here, right? Yeah, usually I like to go raid Drake Takes, but they usually end right as I do so, let's just pass it forward to someone random. We'll just do a random stream here to raid. So let's go and see Knights of Silver Moon. Thanks, everybody.
If you
Thanks
had all
for
the
the raid.
power and speed of Frontier Fiber Internet,
Hey, Drake, we were just debating coming over and seeing you.
you could be
We're
legendary.
calling it a night here. Just ended
You could
our
dive
Wild
into
Beyond the Witchlight.
metaverse, or
Thanks, everybody,
create
for
your
stopping
own
by. We'll
whatever-verse,
pass the
and
raid
make
forward to
moves
the next
that
group.
move the world. Because Frontier's
See ya.
100% fiber optic internet is as powerful as your creativity. Let's go frontiering.
Ooh.